strong laning phase, my cores get ahead, I deny some experience from the supports, maybe even contest some stacks, and never give a chance for this hyperscaling lineup to come online.
I guess I'm wondering, like, that wasn't the problem in Game 2, so why did Xtreme put so much scale when the problem in Game 2 was they just got ran over in lanes?
I think they have been run into a corner a little bit on XXS's hero pool. Like, we saw how much Falcons were target banning him. They took his 3 best offlaners out in that first phase. He's running out of heroes a little bit. He probably didn't want to pick the Bat Rider we saw him play earlier into the Pugna. Didn't feel like the game was good enough for it. So then what else are you playing to give that jump stun that XG really need? It's clear they want him on that archetype of hero, but maybe they were struggling to find it. If you ended up wanting to go the route with the Slardar, then you have to build the lineup around him, and this is just kind of where it ended up.
Fair enough. There was certain things that they did have to give up as a concession to Xtreme Gaming. We heard from AEY 2000 himself. They are a very good Bane team.
Oh, yeah.
What is it about this hero that feels so good right now?
The scale, right? Being able to BKB Pierce lock down a carry in the middle of the fight. It's just such a huge threat for a lot of these cores that want to jump in, pop that debuff immunity, and go to work. On top of it, the sleep save can be super influential, and just the catch around the map. Like, he's one of the better cores at setting stuff up with the sleep into the ult. Not a lot of heroes are going to survive that. This hero just feels good at almost every point in the game outside of the very early laning phase, which we have not seen go punished too hard this event.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's certain games like last where you get run over, but even that game 2 was not a game that was won off the lanes. It was won off the draft, in my opinion. That
a lot
game
of damage
hard.
on Ame here, as this duo of the Bane Sven are trying to keep the Pango from getting out of control. That Bane is also a big counter to the Pango, but we have seen Amar, his item choices, he is really loving the early Lotus Orb pickup. I was going to ask you about this in Game 2. Why did Lotus Orb all of a sudden become this, first item pickup? This is typically an item you're looking at second, third, fourth item. Why are we getting it so early now?
Well, this man's been doing it for a long time, so maybe other people are behind ATF in terms of that offlane itemization. It's just strong. If you get it up online early and you're leading the pack in net worth, it prevents a lot of all-ins from certain of the heroes in the meta, like the Beastmaster. It's great scaling for your carry later in the game. It gives you early armor, gives you early regen, kind of a pseudo-farm item or, resource item to stay out on the map. You just have to get it up fast enough. If you get a delayed Lotus, it's not going to feel great. If you're leading the pack with Lotus, it can feel amazing. And ATF likes these kind of builds. We could easily see some sort of Lotus Lincoln's Pango build this game, just so he can roll in and block some of the Slardar Amp, the Bane Grip. Demonic Purge, also very influential spell in this game off of the Shadow Demon first pick for Jin Q. Amazing Purge game. Versus the Pugna.
Yep.
Versus some of the buffs. Versus the Escape Act from this Ringmaster, right? The panel was talking about Nullifier. They might not need a Nullifier as fast as they normally would because they have Jin Q on the Shadow Demon that can provide that constant dispel for the first target you are trying to burst down. That first point of contact in the fights is going to be everything for both of these teams because of how XG have built their lineup.
That's fair enough. I think it's also worth mentioning Lotus Orb did kind of get a buff recently. It's just a little bit harder to see than he used to be.
I mean, maybe I'm just old. I always complain about the visual changes, but you can't complain about it now. You've seen it before. You've played against it. This is a grand final. Step up or go home.
Nice two-man stun. And X-Nova almost kills Crit off of it. Two-man stun into a two-man blood grenade. Not too bad. Damage being dealt doesn't find the first blood. That is still on the table.
Don't want to get baited by this Ringmaster in the laning phase, though. This hero's very strong on the lane. You can always bait you in with stick charges, Lotus, potential strongman tonic, whoopee cushion action.
Yeah, the last thing you want to give him is a kill in lane, and then he starts snowballing off of those souvenirs he gets.
You just want to make sure he doesn't get anything out of it. If it goes even, you're pretty happy against this hero, particularly with the Bane. This is a good matchup for Ringmaster. Crit's going to do a little stacking on top of it as well.
Yeah, speaking of going even, it does look like the laning phase as a whole is going even, which is a good sign for Xtreme. Last thing they want is to be at such a disadvantage they give up the Wisdom Shrine again. Disruption into a bash, into the crush, but the teleport is coming in, and now XXS is the one in trouble. It's first blood going to Snake King, and a second kill on the way. The Shadow Demon, he can do little to stop this Shin Q doing what he can against Skeeter, but I bet he's wishing he never popped that poison.
Sick TP from Crit. Instant on time, turns it around. That's a tough fight without the support coming in from the Ringmaster and his extra DPS. Big turnaround for the Gyro on this lane. That's a lane that could have swung either way off that kill attempt. Instead, it goes Falcon's way. Skeeter very happy about that experience. He'll get to go to base and come back now.
Yeah,
Full
with the
resources.
boots pick up, he'll be back to base a little bit quicker, but it does mean that Falcons won't be able to min-max the advantage they got off of those kills. The Slardar able to play the lane solo for a little bit. Primal Roar and trying to secure the power rune. Don't get the power rune, so instead get the kill.
And no brain tap, no sleep for Xnova there. Just gets taken down from the high ground. Secure the rune for XM, but how much can he do with the regen? Have to see. If I'm XG, I don't want to fall behind in economy again. I don't want to let these heroes become unkillable, which means getting some stacks up, making sure your Sven and SF are having a very good laning phase into that acceleration, and potentially making some plays, I don't know, through the Slardar, through the Bane, setting some stuff up on the map. You do have this Bane SF combo where you can kind of sleep people into Requiem if you really want to play around that. And XM, he did really well in this mid lane. He's just laying into this tower. Another great D-ward. They are controlling the vision around this area. See XG prioritizing it, and I don't think they're going to want to lose Wisdom Shrines this time around. I think that was a huge factor in that game too.
Absolutely.
You have to prioritize it a little bit here.
Yeah, Falcons are certainly not in a position to get aggressive in that regard. In fact, it's going to be
look at this.
Xtreme who are going to get aggressive. Triple raise on an Ancient stack. That was the one point where I looked at Falcons saying, okay, they've got a little bit of net worth lead, but if they also have the stack advantage, that could really build up into something. But most of those stacks have just been robbed.
This was a really nice play. This is getting value out of that regen rune, right? Not only a 6-minute power rune that you can use too aggressively. Here, beautiful usage of it. Go steal some stacks, slow down the Beastmaster, accelerate the SF, and he's still going to be full resources out of committing the raises. Puts XM in a very solid position. This is one of his signature heroes. I mean, people think of the XM sniper, but he's also been playing this Shadow Fiend for a long time.
Shinku gonna run into Snake King. A pickoff perhaps? It's gonna be up to Snake King if he can get off a Decrepify that's good enough and make a run for it, but they should just be able to tail him. Nobody around to help him out. The Gyrocopter's not gonna join in on this. And especially if XM, they do have the Beastmaster. They're trying to sandwich this right now, but it's 3 heroes. So it's not so simple as Maureen just running in for the roar.
Can't go in on XM there. He's way too strong. And you have to think about the saves that actually have too. If you're Maureen here, like, you go in and roar a target, that target gets disrupted, that target gets slept. Your teamfight presence is going to be mitigated for a while, so he has to make sure his game is good. He's continuing to scale. Don't take too many bad early fights into the saves here.
Yeah, there are actually so many interactions here that Xtreme had the answer to, right? The Rolling Thunder is going to come in. They have Fiend Script for that. If there is the single target stuns coming out, they have Disruption or Nightmare. Then you've got the Demonic Purge countering the saves from Snake King and from Crit, right? You have Escape Act as well as Decrepify that's going to be countered. There is high potential for Xtreme to be able to outplay Falcons, but are they going to be able to get there? As an early game does seem to favor Falcons for now.
Got some decent support levels, a lot of playmaking available. Their lineup does seem a little more straightforward to execute if it gets rolling. It's kind of the one upside for them, particularly if the Gyro can join fights and have a higher impact before the Sven comes online. That could be a real point of contention.
Snake King, if you show here, it might be a triple raise in your future. Disruption, he's too far back. XM will not be able to catch that. They'll just make sure there's no deny here. Mid tower is claimed by Xtreme, and the SF, well, he's free to move around the map. He relied on Xnova to get the sleep, but he doesn't. Oh, he does get in range.
He just got level 5, levels it up to 3, extra range.
And now it's going to be a stun into triple raise, potentially. They let him get off the shield crash, though.
What was that?
And because of that shield, where was the stun from Ame?
That was just bizarre. I think there's a world you absolutely bring that Pangolier down. Shouldn't be hesitant to Requiem in there, but a little misexecution from XG off a beautiful setup from Xnova.
Very awkward. God Strength now being on cooldown, and a bit of the surprise spoiled Falcons. They'll bring numbers to this bottom lane push in Xtreme. I think they're likely just to give this one away. XXS is having, a fair time at the top lane. He's playing solo right now and chipping away at a tower, so there's really no need to risk fighting at bottom lane.
I thought the early portion of that lane was rough for XG, but they eventually kicked Skeeter out. Now he's the poorest core out of this lane phase. This Gyro just found almost nothing in terms of fighting after we saw that double kill that Crit TP'd into.
Yeah, and he doesn't have any Ancient stacks to fall back on when he does get the farm for it. Now, there's still plenty of time before that comes to fruition, but
this is great for XXS. He was struggling, now he gets a free lane. And XM, another Ancient stack going to this Shadow Fiend. This is one of the best Shadow Fiend starts we've seen.
Yeah, this is actually just disgusting. You have a mid hero who wins his matchup so hard he takes the tower. That allows him to go into the triangle, and he's a stack clearer. That just means he's going to be playing both sides of these triangles.
Very influential tower to lose early in this game, particularly with the mid beast, who wants to protect those ancient stacks. Going to give a lot of freedom to XG here, and we are not seeing that same kind of run over from Falcons in that game too. You know, I think there were probably some concerns as Falcons just going to do a repeat of that game.
Yeah.
And just run it back all the way to an Aegis. And the answer seems to be no. They have run into a brick wall here. They will not find the same momentum. Doesn't mean they can't still build it if they start getting some good team fights going their way, but it's getting to the point where you're going to have these early fighting items on the side of XG, and as long as you protect this Shadow Fiend, he's kind of a beast in the fight. No one's challenging him. Especially you can't just all in war him because the saves are behind.
Yeah. There's certainly always going to be a massive difference in Falcons and their tempo, because so much of it, a faster tempo is played around Maureen. If he's playing Primal Beast, he wants to run around, get kills. He's playing Beastmaster, he's going to play far more to neutrals, a slower game. He wants to get his Aghanim Scepter first before he risks too much, and we're seeing the impact of that. 12-minute, an Invis Rune. They do have the Sentry in place for this one. Can X-Nova get the right Nightmare?
Oh,
Mark got himself stuck! Can he get out of this? The shield crash is stuck, and now he's going to be Fiend's Grip. Just to make sure the Shadow Fiend gets away, X-Nova will die for it, but he sacrifices his life to make sure his mid laner does not go down. That was the most farmed core in this game. And Falcons, they should have had that kill.
Not the place or time to get stuck on the Pangolier.
No.
Reset that mentality and try again later. That's a botch kill on the SF. Good bailout from X-Nova, though. I think he might have been able to bail him out even if that Pango didn't get stuck. That's very close, though. And you do not want to die on XM here. I mean, he is so farmed. For him to go down, lose that presence on the map, that would be a huge blow to XG. That's why Falcons were prioritizing him.
Yeah, with this Kaya Yasha, he doesn't need a Blink Dagger to set up these Requiems, right? He's got X-Nova, and he's got... I mean, both a Nightmare and a Disruption are probably good enough for him to get off a Fiend's Grip or a Requiem of Souls that leads into a double or triple raise, and anybody's going to die to that.
The thing is, all of that goes out the window if you just get going on.
Yeah, absolutely, which means Falcons can't afford to separate too much, which is maybe part of why Xtreme has set up the draft the way they did, right? They have solo kill pickoff around the map. Falcons will have to play a little bit more cluttered than they were able to do in the past. They can't rely on just the tankiness of their heroes in this game.
And Staking, you are not on Enchantress anymore.
They spotted and Disruption to stop the TP. They can give the kill to whoever they want. XXS will nab it as he wants it. The faster, looks like Shard is the build-up for him next. So he wants to be the tanky one in this game.
I think that's the fastest they've ever taken Snaking down in this entire series.
That's true, yeah. He's no longer on the Enchantress.
It's like,
gonna do a lot for you.
This is how ganking a 5 is supposed to feel.
I love this. Look at the XXS is hiding his Blink Dagger.
Oh,
it's sitting on this courier, just hiding in the trees.
We get some value out of this. There's that dire ward up there. Might scout it, but...
Yeah. I do wonder if it saw the courier at any point in time or if it sees him.
That's a way better start for XG, though. Game even for them out of lanes, I feel like that's a slight victory for them.
Do you think that favors them draft-wise? Not as a team, but draft-wise, do you feel like this is a draft that as long as you come out even, you're actually favored? I think so.
I think for the mid-game, yeah, because your Roche threat is so high with the Sarda, right?
Yeah.
You get one core pick-off, the thing's just going to insta-die. Meanwhile, Falcons are like, yeah, nice Roche. We're going to take it way before you're expecting it.
I certainly wasn't expecting this. I've got free vision. And they're actually going to do it. They're going to run into crit. They're going to chase after this kill. But that means Roshan, it goes the way of Falcons.
What a snatch in this game. You'll gladly trade a support to take this away from this Sardar lineup.
Xtreme had literally just gone for their, okay, we're strong enough to go for a smoke. Any sort of pick-off will lead to Roshan. They were ready for that move, but Falcons one step ahead of them and taken away a critical objective.
That was very clutch on the timing. They got the Beastmaster eggs, they go in the pit, they read the map, absolutely on point. And if you don't run interference there with the Ringmaster, there's a chance that smoke just goes into the pit and you just jump it when it pops, right?
Yep.
4 minutes on the clock here for Maureen. You can now push a little more aggressively. have a lot more presence in the team fight, work towards his scaling with that BKB, try and create some space on the map for this gyro to recover. I mean, you're still looking at Skeeter as the poorest core here. Not a great sign on this hero, especially when he's up against so much debuff piercing damage in this game. You gotta wonder how easily he's gonna be able to join the fight, but he can absolutely recover very quickly here. Maureen gets some action going. XG on the hunt.
They're going to fight into Maureen, but Crit and Snaking are behind him here.
Yeah, it's
give him the heals, wait out the Demonic Purge, and the Escape Act is ready now that the Demonic Purge is gone. Not required, though. Xtreme, do not force anything. Seek few heroes, no reason to fight into this Aegis.
Yeah, that's not the target you want to go on with your single burst lineup. Hunt this Pango? Sure. Hunt this Gyro? Absolutely. They're eyeing him up. Look at Xnova on the back. Can he get him off the haste, though?
Oh, he's so close, but a blink away. Out of range and now out of sight.
That was some sick positioning. That is not a move I think Amar expected. He doesn't have haste. He goes down there for sure. He just gets slept into Requiem.
Well, we haven't even mentioned the two carries too much in this game. Amang is certainly getting the better of the situation. 9,300 net worth on him. The Gyrocopter is struggling. Axe is cutting down, chasing after him.
That was so awkward with the tumbler toy. Didn't get over that little cliff. Dude, the little river cliffs causing Falcons problems. It's game 3.
You know what's funny? This Aegis that they got for themselves, they almost got it too early. Just because they won't actually have it when the Tormentor spawns.
I mean, this was not an Aegis they take for their lineup. This is an Aegis you take away from XG.
Sure.
But it does mean you'll have to contest the faster Roshan cycle in this game.
Got the Nightmare on him. Team is teleporting in. And yeah, Falcons say that is not even close to teleport. Oh, XXX, what was that? Bungled the stun there that should have gotten them the extra kill.
That was almost harder to miss than hit.
It really was. He had to walk away from his blink. Whoopsies.
Extra life for Falcons to play with here. I mean, it's still a good rebuttal from XG. You bring Ame into the fight, you just decimate the Pugna. Gotta feel good about that. This Sven is excavating the map right now.
He is so far ahead of this Gyrocopter right now.
I mean, just look at the levels, right? Level 15.5 on the Sven, level 12 on the Gyro. XG have the 2 highest level cores in this game, and it is the Sven and the Shadow Fiend. Those are good levels to have on these heroes.
Aura goes out, trying to blow up the Slardar, and they do manage to get him. Xnova not there in time for a Nightmare save. And they know that God Strength is on cooldown. The Sven may be in this area, but not likely to fight. So good call for Falcons. A pick off there. And pulls that net worth almost back to even.
I think XG didn't expect him to linger up here this much. They had 2 wards up on that top lane. In theory, a lot of information, but Falcons played to the left of it. They waited for a hero to show, and they want to take that tower down and occupy this part of the map because you are looking towards that 20-minute Tormentor. Another easy objective for XG to take if you don't take it first. If you control this part of the map, could set that fight up a lot easier, and we're still seeing Maureen just camp this area. He does not want to give this corner to XG while he has Aegis for another minute.
Xnova spotted by Maureen. They get, no, he's faster with it, gets off the Nightmare. Still though, the Nightmare is traded away, and Maureen does not have to roar to get the kill. He just casually runs him down. 40 seconds left on the Aegis, 20 seconds left on his roar.
Absolute Tormentor control here for Falcons. Playing the objectives well, giving up a little more farm to XG to do it, but they're okay making that trade if they can continue to slow down the Slardar's game progression.
I like this though. XM, he's reading the positioning of Falcons around the map and is trying to take objectives where he can as a result. If he can pull some heroes down here, then maybe that means Xtreme get the better control of the Tormentor as it spawns.
You're also just trying to get as much XP off the map right now, because if you can get to the level 18 on your 2 cores that are really high level, level 3 Requiem, level 3 God Strength would go a long way, especially when you're amping a lot of this damage up.
That's true. I mean, he gets to BKB. Blink BKB, Requiem. I don't know if Maureen can be fast enough to Primal Roar to stop it. And if he can't do it, nobody else can.
That's your only option when this guy goes in.
Ooh, amp damage. I mean, he had an Arcane Rune before. I was wondering if they were going to make a play with that. But as you said, he's just trying to farm up as quick as possible right now. Xtreme aiming for a later timing. I am surprised that they are not willing to play for Tormentor, but this will be Falcons.
I mean, Falcons did a tremendous job controlling this portion of the map, eliminating the vision. This was their Tormentor to take, and it's kind of a tough high ground to fight into against the Pangolier and the Beastmaster.
Got a little spotlight action, so we'll see 30% miss chance. I mean, when you have a bunch of physical damage and minus armor.
Yeah, very true. Could be influential here.
Missing a single hit could make you miss the kill. XXS and Amar right next to each other. Oh, they both blink back in terror. Neither certain of their position in that one. Never mind, indeed. BKB. Done for the Beastmaster. I mean, we got to be coming to a point where these teams are going to come to a clash. I feel like we're getting all the critical items for both sides.
It's got to be next Roche. And that's what these lineups are built to do.
Sure.
That will be where that team fight happens. And there is BKB done for XM. This is an insane pace for him. Amp damage still in the bottle.
They give them the Wisdom Shrine to get him to 18.
He is crushing it right now. And you're still looking at this Gyro, who's supposed to be your main carry, your main damage dealer in the fight that you can play around. He's just so far behind. And he can just die in 3 hits. If this Gyro gets amped into Sven damage or SF damage, you're gone. There's level 18 for XM. They want to smoke it up. Try and use something with the back end of this amp damage rune. Absolutely devastating if you can connect.
Double BKBs. XXS may not have his, but all they need for him is an initiation. But Ame already has that covered. They get the jump on a Snake King and XXS. The finishing blow.
That was some overkill, but they do get the Pugna for another time in this game. And
another Arcane rune. Did he just get Arcane into amp damage into Arcane?
I believe he did. The SF dream right here.
That it really is. I mean, he's farming so fast that I feel like we're just coming down to, oh, he got his BKB, but maybe we wait for another item. As Aghanim Scepter is next up, and he already has 1,400 gold saved up for it.
See when this Roche spawns. If it's a late Roche, he could absolutely have another item by then. Very concerning for Falcons, the rate he's progressing. You almost want a faster Roche here. They get more online.
They have kept the net worth even, though. Yes. And it may not be the Gyrocopter, but these other cores are pretty farmed. The Beastmaster and the Pango.
It's about landing the ulso. Like, a lot of Falcons teamfight depends on getting a good roar without the save coming through and getting a good roll through from Amar.
Good pick. Malrine exercising some restraint. Once again, runs into X-Nova and realizes he doesn't have to roar to get the kill.
She continuing to just dodge around the map. They're content with farming. They are scaling here. They're confident in their overwhelming physical damage eventually winning out for them.
I can't say I blame them. I mean, especially the triple BKB timing. What are you going to do as Falcons? What's the game plan? If we get to triple BKB timing, you can roar one of these heroes. But the others are just going to run at you.
Your target should be XM. Roar this Shadow Fiend, bring him down with Gyro committing, and let the roll through cover on the backside. Try and disrupt some of the saves from coming through, right?
Yeah. Like, you'll still have kiting mechanisms for the Sven, so you don't have to worry so much about him.
I mean, you have to worry about him. You got to pick your poison here.
Well, yeah.
There's a lot of physical damage dealers. Decrep might bail you out a little bit. Escape Act might bail you out. Depends when that Demonic Purge comes through. This ward is scouting mid, but they did not. They barely saw.
Behind XM and Ame.
See ya.
He is not playing games. He is not being coy. He just goes straight to the support, takes the kill that he can get out of it. Use the God Strength for that. Unfortunately for him, it is a late Roshan spawn. So Roshan is not up for them to take. And Xtreme Gaming will still have to play a 5-on-5 for control of the pit.
I think they would have just manned up for it there if it had spawned.
Certainly.
We'll have to wait another minute, but they will have God Strength up for it when it spawns. So Falcons want to try and sneak that away a second time. They absolutely will contest it. And Skeeter just has to get BKB here and pray he can survive in the fights. Timely Decrep could bail him out. Escape Act could do the same, but if Demonic Purge lands on this Gyro, all those options go away. He's just on his own, and he does not have the armor to survive the physical. So that connection, pivotal for XG as you look towards this next Roche fight. And yeah, that SF Ags, it's coming real fast here. He's just out of control, and it's almost level 20.
Falcons put into a position where they're just going to have faith in the outplay capabilities. I mean, the funny part is they have saves on both sides. All 4 supports in this game have options for saves, so the initiation, it's going to be messy. You never know if that jump is actually good or if you're just going to be playing into the enemy's hands.
But that's where the Shadow Demon comes in. He's that balance breaker. Throw Demonic Purge on the target, you jump. Falcon saves don't do anything.
Yeah, but that also requires the Shadow Demon to play forward enough that, you know, maybe he just gets jumped by the Rolling Thunder hit and 100-0'd by Amar.
Definitely a possibility. It's Pango. He has Lotus done. He can go in versus the Grip.
About it. How many heroes are in these trees? He doesn't know. The boar is scouting out for him.
He cannot go in too deep. The Lotus will buy him sometime against the Grip, but it's not infinite, right? And if Nova's positioning is really good, then you get Grip deep in enemy lines. You're going to really sacrifice your team's formation here. Nonetheless, Roche is up. Ags is done.
Level 20. Aghanim Scepter Shadow Fiend.
He's a monster. He's just a straight monster right now. You have to tag this guy in the fight.
I feel like we've been hyping up this Requiem for like 15 minutes. And it's just getting better and better, but when is Xtreme finally going to pull the trigger on it?
I mean, this is at the point where you have the BKB on the starter. You have everything you need to fight. It puts you in a position you have to just force the Roche if Falcons don't want to give you that 5-on-5. If they want to buy time for Skeeter, you do it incredibly fast. They got scouted on that again, I think.
Yep. These aggressive wards from Falcons.
They might still catch. Oh, if they find Amar.
It would be massive. Oh, that would have been the perfect pickup. Take away this big initiator. They could threaten the Bane and the Shadow Demon in these fights, but they do not break. Come so close to him, and instead they will just back up. They've cleared out the area. They know that Falcons isn't around. They think this will give them enough time to do the Roshan. We'll see if Falcons contest.
So XG, they kill the boars. They know Falcons are going to respond. They'd rather take the fight than get low in the pit. Ward plays from Crit, trying to see anything for the jump. But XG, they take the high ground. It's going to have to be blind here from
Seeing
Amar.
some heroes. The Rolling Thunder. Amar holds off on it.
X-Nova making some moves on the left. Going up blind, looking for an angle.
XXS.
Oh, he might just run into a
running
bar.
right up there. And he managed to find the Pango. The Pango's the one in trouble. He gets the roll up. He's Demonic Purge, so he has the Rolling Thunder now. XM goes to the Requiem. It doesn't get an easy kill. They chase after Snake King. They'll get that one, but they've blown a lot for this. Meanwhile, the Roar, it gets used on the Sven, and the Sven's at half HP. He's got the BKB. What's he gonna do? Can he turn and fight? Oh, yeah, he can. He brings out Maureen. The beat script. He takes out Amar as well with XXS chasing down the gyrocopter. Fun Falcons down.
What a clutch turnaround from Ame. Help that BKB. Disruption buys him some time. And Falcons overextend trying to bring this king down. Xtreme take a 6K lead. They'll put an Aegis on this Sven, and now they are cruising in this game. That is the one team fight they needed to break this one wide open. The damage is only going to pick up from here. And that Requiem wasn't even the best it could have been. It was almost a zoning Requiem to break the fight up.
Oh, yeah. It did not get a quick kill like we were theorizing it could do. It pushes Snake King in a bad position. But yeah, most of Falcons dodged that damage.
Yeah, the damage was not effective. It was just a zoning tool. But Malreed, he found his mark on this ward. Did a significant chunk of Ame's damage, but you can't finish him off. This is the gyro problem, right? Skeeter doesn't offer you enough physical burst because of the game.
Look at those crits, man. He got like 5 hits in and 3 crits. 1,600 damage apiece.
Yeah, sit back and relax. It's going to be a long series.
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm sure Falcons can feel it. This game is just not the same as that game, too. You do not have the same punch. You do not have that same snowball momentum. And now you are stuck going into that mid-late game against a team that has rarely lost those types of games.
Rushing down the lanes. Maureen trying to hunt for some farm and pull back. He was running into 3 of Xtreme, though.
This beast has to do some heavy lifting here. It's still going to be time before Skeeter can deliver a punch equal to what this lineup's doing, which means you have to rely on the Beastmaster's damage. I mean, he did a significant amount of damage to Ame. If he has one more item there, you might just be able to bring him down. The save came out a little slow because no one was really looking at that part of the fight.
It says a lot that he feels like he has to go back for the Satanic rather than completing the Daedalus.
I mean, Satanic on this hero is also a lot of damage. If you can stay alive, that means you get a second flak hit off, right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the damage you're looking for, but you're never going to have the same burst punch as this XG lineup.
No, never. Xtreme Gaming's second Tormentor of the game. And now we have a Demonic Cleanse on top of a Demonic Purge.
A little bit of extra sustain, why not? They found Snaking again, just been hounded.
Gets there on just the last half second, and that will help XXS complete his Aghanim Scepter. So he was
so tanky now.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, 4,000 HP. And you're just not even talking about the extra armor and regen he's going to get out of sitting in these pools.
If he is in a puddle when you go on him, it feels like you lost the fight in a way, right? Especially if you commit big ults onto him. Especially with the status resistance on top of that. Ame hunting.
They have a scan on him. Ame, not worried about it. He says, this kill isn't even worth me chasing. You guys can have at it, though. Xnova, Jin Q. They'll hunt down Crit on the sides of the map. Oh, they'll leave the kill to XM. So nice. Nice dodge. And it means that Xnova will end up taking the kill with the poison.
Yeah, Ame, he doesn't have time for it. He's got better things to do here.
Yeah, he's got 2 minutes on the clock for this Aegis. Time to do some damage.
Take a tier 2, push towards your 25. And he is so far ahead of Skeeter on this gyro. It's not even funny. It's just not a fair fight.
No, it's not. He's almost got a 10,000 net worth lead on the opposing carry. It's ridiculous.
I mean, this was an important game for XG to strike back in, especially with this draft, because, again, you're trying to answer the problem, which is Falcons saying, we've banned all of XXS's heroes. We took out all his tempo makers, his jump stunners. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to pick? Their reply was the Slardar. If you win a game with this, you might have to change up a lot of your bans. Maybe you can't target him as much. This hero has been pretty effective in this game so far. Just forcing awkward moves out of Falcons, especially around that Roshan pit, because of the threat on objectives it gives you. And now you're getting into the part where it's going to give you benefit for the scaling.
I would also point to the mid matchup, right? XM having this Shadow Fiend, this will do wonders for them in this matchup because most of Malrain's heroes are these melee mids. If he keeps on being abused by a Shadow Fiend that takes his tower so early and still continues to keep up by farming neutrals as well, you've got a bit of a problem.
What's a big factor this game? Limiting the lane damage Falcons were able to put out. And now they're on the back foot. The lead is continuing to grow. This was a beneficial Aegis period for XG. Ame still on the hunt, looking towards bottom lane. Once more, get him. Didn't get crit either. Falcons in dodge mode and dodging successfully right now.
Gonna have to make a lot of moves like that. And Amar, well, gets the roll up. Now the Rolling Thunder and the Lotus Orb. And the teleport away. He's good.
There's a chance you bash him there. It's not impossible.
XXS didn't have the numbers for it yet. But in the future.
Quick gate top, look for the hero farming the other side of the map. XG just playing really aggressive right now. They just want to find anything. And another amp damage for XM, almost level 25 himself. Lincoln Sphere done. Can't even go in and roar this guy easily anymore.
It's just flat out a guaranteed ultimate. Oh boy, Falcons. Well, Satanic's done. Back to the data list for Skeeter. Stall, stall, stall. Maybe Skeeter gets to a point he can get a Divine Rapier after the data list. A Swift Blink done for the Sven. That's nasty. Level 25 with a Swift Blink. The attacks are going to come real quick, and they're going to be doing well past 2,000 damage. You added some Corrosive Haze on there, some little bit more minus armor from the Shadow Fiend. You might see 3,000 damage crits.
Have to instantly respond in the fight. Bash from Pango, roar from the Beast. There's a good blink out from ATF, not getting caught there. XG will go unrewarded for this move across the map. Closing in on that Shivas for the Beastmaster. In fact, they have it. So that's a huge item. Little armor mitigation here. There's all this minus armor from the Slardar SF. I just think this gyro build-up's awkward. Like, this is a game you must have wanted Butterfly in. And you just could never fit it in because you were too far behind. So you don't have evasion, you don't have bonus armor. Just feels like you're food unless the team bails you out.
XXS is hunting. He's not going to find anything. That's because Falcons are sitting 5 inside their base right now. That's where we're at.
Yeah, to the point where you just have to smoke out or something, regain some map control. Do have a gem on Maureen, so if you move out with him, should be able to get some D-wards. See if he spots this ward up on that top lane. They all run past it, but it does not get scouted by the gem yet. Giving XG a lot of information to play off of. Another power rune for XM. Just been gobbling him up in the river.
I mean, at this point, Falcons, they can't really know this, but the side lanes are being heavily patrolled by Xtreme, but it's just XM in the middle part of the map. When you're trying to rat like this, you don't usually want to go to the middle part of the map, but that might be their best opportunity to create an opening. Just they get the Shadow Fiend off the map. That gives them 60, 70 seconds to work with.
It's just not the logical jump. Like, you don't see this SF set emitted. They say he's alone. Let's go just smoke and jump him, and it's going to work out. It does not feel comfortable to play this map right now, and this ward is still available top for XG, just scouting a lot out. Also a great ward for Falcons. Amar, he's like, I want to use this, guys.
Seeing XXS. I just can't see a world where they go on the Slardar, and it's good for them, and instead Amar's going to be the one jumped. A roll up and a rolling thunder. Away he goes, hits a bash, a little bit of damage, and blinks away. It's XM, actually now. XM's in trouble. There's a disruption save, though, and Ame right on the front line to bail out his Shadow Fiend. The hit's coming in. Maureen, how you can't survive. 28 damage, and more's coming for you. A good whip from Crit will keep them off of Skeeter's tail, but that damage had to put fear into Falcons. Snaking, he delays it. One tapped by Ame. That's what you're dealing with right now.
This is the definition of overwhelming damage. You don't have time to respond. You got the roar on the SF. As you went into you, kind of the best scenario.
Yep.
But there's disruption to bail you out. That's the beauty of this lineup. The aggressive damage dealers can go in with confidence because there is no turnaround potential unless you check that back line. And Ame, he is just unleashed here.
Man's on fire. And XM is fearless, man.
Refresher done for the Shadow Fiend. If you thought it was bad before, had double ult with Dazun Bloodright with Timeless on top of it.
Yeah, AC for the Slardar as well. I mean, the advantages just keep on piling up.
This game is starting to feel as out of reach as Game 2 was for XG.
It's starting to. I mean, for me, it's felt that way for like a solid 10, 15 minutes. Just felt like Falcons were in this position where they couldn't actually play active. They couldn't go for kills. And Xtreme were just building up this late game that it feels kind of unstoppable. This much physical damage, this much minus armor.
Need more late game survivability to punch through it. It comes down to the gyro. Like, can gyro take a jump in this game? So far, the answer's been no. He does finish up a brooch. He disassembles it. Once Daedalus here.
The banner down, and Ame starts going to work.
There's the gyro Daedalus. This is some damage for Falcons. I mean, this is a Hail Mary.
It is. They've got to somehow find the initiation, but if they're going to do it without snaking and without a mid lane of barracks. Trying to deal with the banner. Skeeter. Oh, man. No good. No buyback available. Requiem just for the fun. Just for the hell of it. He's got another one. Why not?
No God Strength. No problem. Just blinks on plays for the attack speed, daring Amar to jump him.
They do manage to get that jump on XM, but there's the Lincolns. Now a refresh. You have to go through another Lincoln, so you don't have a roar to do so. XM jumps, hits the back line with the Requiem, runs down Crit. Full heal, back up, and this is completely dumpstered. Xtreme Gaming. You thought that was good in Game 2?